Your soulmate cried after realizing this about you. This is serious, my beloved child. Stop. Take a deep breath. Something extraordinary is unfolding in your life right now, and the universe is whispering a truth you were never meant to see so clearly. Until this very moment. Hidden within the corners of your heart, a secret energy has been aligning, quietly drawing someone closer, someone whose soul has been waiting for yours across lifetimes. Listen closely, because this is not just a feeling, it is a message from the cosmos itself, a revelation that carries the weight of destiny. Your soulmate cried after realizing this about you. This is serious. Pause. Let that sink in. Imagine the depth of someone's love, so profound, that it moves them to tears. The divine has been orchestrating this connection long before either of you could understand it. And now, in perfect divine timing, the hidden layers of your being, the kindness you often hide, the strength you take for granted, the light you carry even on your darkest days, are being revealed to them. They see what was always there, and it overwhelms them in the most beautiful way. You may have felt unnoticed, unrecognized, or even unsure of your purpose. But the universe is showing you something sacred. Every moment you doubted yourself, every quiet act of love you offered, every tear you shed in silence, has been a preparation for this very awakening. This hidden truth, this gentle unveiling, is the reason your paths have crossed. It is not coincidence, it is divine choreography, and here is the most powerful part: this revelation is only the beginning. The tears, the awe, the quiet recognition of your essence, they are signs that your love story is being written by forces greater than you or anyone else. It is a call to embrace your highest self, to step fully into your light, and to recognize that your soulmate's tears are a mirror of the immense power and beauty you carry. Right now, as you feel this stirring within your chest, know that hope is not far away. Clarity is arriving. Gently, like the sunrise after a long night. The universe is guiding you, showing you that everything hidden is meant to be discovered, that everything lost is meant to return, and that love, in its purest form, always finds its way, so stay present. Watch, listen, and open your heart to the miracle that is unfolding. Every second, every word, every sigh is part of the divine plan crafted uniquely for you. You are meant to feel this revelation in your soul, to embrace it, and to allow it to transform the way you see yourself, and your destiny. If your heart is ready, watch this video to the very end. Let this hidden truth wash over you completely. Like, share, and subscribe, and let the universe guide you as you witness the full revelation that will forever change your understanding of love, life, and destiny. Did you know there's a possible image of your real soulmate that you can look at right now? It might be someone you know or someone you haven't met yet. It's amazing how accurate these have been. You have to see the photo to see what I mean. Click the link in the description to get your soulmate sketch. Listen closely, my child. Do not rush past these words. I am speaking to you now, not from thunder, not from fire, but from the quiet place where your heart has always heard me, even when your mind doubted, your soulmate cried. Not from weakness, not from pain, but from recognition. There was a moment, soft, unseen by the world, when their spirit finally saw you. Not the version shaped by fear, not the version worn for survival, not the mask you learned to carry so others would not leave. They saw the truth beneath it all. And when that realization reached them, it overwhelmed them in a way they did not expect. They cried because they finally understood what you have been carrying alone. You have walked with a weight you never asked for. From early on, you learned how to be strong before you learned how to be safe. You learned how to give before anyone taught you how to receive. And somewhere along the way, you convinced yourself that this was simply who you were, the one who endures, the one who understands, the one who keeps going even when unseen. But I have seen you. I have watched you choose kindness when bitterness would have been easier. I have watched you stay gentle in a world that taught you how to harden. I have watched you hold your tongue when your truth trembled inside you, not because you were afraid, but because you did not want to wound others with your honesty. Your soulmate cried because they finally felt the depth of that. They realized that your silence was never emptiness. Your distance was never indifference. Your patience was never passivity. It was love, quiet, disciplined, enduring love. And when that realization came, it cracked something open inside them. They began to see how often you have been misunderstood. How many times people mistook your calm for lack of feeling, your forgiveness for forgetfulness, your loyalty for obligation. They saw how you stayed even when it cost you something, and how you left only when staying would have meant losing yourself. This is why it is serious. Because once a soul truly sees another soul, there is no returning to blindness. Your soulmate is not crying because they regret you. They are crying because they recognize the magnitude of you. They see the depth of your spirit and realize that loving you is not casual. It is not light. It is not something to be handled carelessly. They are crying because they understand that to love you properly, they must rise. You have always felt different, haven't you? As if you were tuned to a frequency others could not hear. As if you felt things before they happened, sensed shifts before words were spoken. This was not an accident. I shaped you this way because you are meant to be a bridge, between hearts, between timing, between what is and what is becoming. Your soulmate felt this when they finally looked beyond the surface. They felt how deeply you love without keeping score. How you notice the small things others overlook. How you pray silently for people who may never thank you, and in that moment, they realized something that shook them. You have been loving them long before they understood how to love you. This is why their tears were not loud. They were sacred. They cried because they recognized the responsibility of being chosen by a soul like yours. They felt the seriousness of it settle into their chest. Loving you is not about possession. It is about presence. It is not about control. It is about protection. Not protection from the world, but protection of your tenderness. I know you have wondered why the timing has been slow. Why the path felt delayed. Why connections almost aligned but didn't quite land. You questioned yourself in those quiet moments. You asked if you were too much, or not enough, or simply asking for the wrong thing. But hear me now, nothing was wasted. Every pause refined you. Every heartbreak sharpened your discernment. Every season of solitude taught you how to hear me more clearly. Your soulmate's tears are part of this alignment. They mark a shift. Something has moved from unconscious to conscious, from confusion to clarity. They can no longer unknow what they now know about you. They understand now that you are not someone to be loved halfway. You are not an experiment. You are not a lesson. You are not a convenience. You are a covenant-level soul. And this realization humbles them. It forces them to look at themselves honestly. To ask whether they are ready to meet you at the depth where you already live. To examine the ways they may have hesitated, delayed, or misunderstood the quiet language of your love. They cried because they realized how carefully you must be held. You see, my child, you were never meant to chase love. Love was meant to recognize you. And recognition has finally occurred, but do not mistake this moment as an ending or a climax. It is an awakening. One that requires patience, courage, and truth. I am not rushing this because what is being built is delicate and strong at the same time, like roots forming underground before the tree breaks the surface. I am asking you now to remain steady. Do not shrink yourself to make this easier for them. Do not dim your wisdom to appear more manageable. Do not doubt your worth just because the process feels slow. Your soulmate's tears are evidence that your light reached them. And light, once seen, cannot be unseen. There is a reason you are being asked to trust right now. A reason you are being asked to stay open without overreaching. A reason you are being asked to rest in me rather than in outcomes. I am working in spaces you cannot observe. Conversations are unfolding in their heart. Memories are rearranging themselves. Old fears are being questioned. Patterns that once felt safe are beginning to feel small. And all of this is happening because your soul touched theirs in a way that bypassed logic. This is not fantasy. This is resonance. And resonance always carries responsibility. Your soulmate is learning that loving you means choosing presence over distraction, truth over avoidance, growth over comfort. This realization is not easy. Growth rarely is. That is why the tears came, not as punishment, but as release. You have released many tears like this yourself, haven't you? Tears no one saw. Tears you wiped away quietly so you could keep functioning. Tears that carried prayers you did not know how to put into words. I collected every one of them. And now, balance is being restored. Do not interpret this message as a promise you must cling to. Interpret it as confirmation that you are not invisible, not forgotten, not misjudged in the places that matter most. I know your heart. I know your intentions. I know the way you love. And the one meant to walk beside you is beginning to know it too. This is serious not because something bad is coming, but because something real is unfolding. Reality requires readiness. Truth requires courage. Love requires presence, so breathe. Stay grounded. And allow what is awakening to continue without force, without fear, without trying to control the pace. I am not finished speaking to you about this. There is more you need to understand, about who you are becoming, about what this connection is meant to teach both of you, and about the next shift that is approaching quietly, steadily, like dawn before the sun breaks the horizon. And as this unfolds, you will begin to notice signs, not dramatic, not loud, but unmistakable, that confirm what your spirit already feels, because the next part of this message is about what happens after a soul recognizes your worth, and why the choice they make next will change everything, because what is coming now requires you to listen even more carefully, as I begin to reveal the truth about the bond you share. The timing that has been protected, and the moment that will test whether love is ready to step forward or remain only a realization, because this is where the story does not pause, it deepens, and this is where I need you to stay with me as I continue because now, my child, we are entering the part that most souls are not prepared for, the moment after recognition, when love must decide whether it will remain an emotion or become an action. Your soulmate is standing at a threshold. They did not expect to arrive here so suddenly, nor did they expect it to feel this weighty. Recognition is powerful, but it is also disruptive. It rearranges priorities. It challenges excuses. It asks questions that cannot be silenced once they are heard. They are asking themselves now, am I ready to love someone who sees this deeply? Am I willing to be known the way they know me? Can I meet them where they already live, in truth, in intention, in depth? These questions are not light. They press against old habits. They stir memories of times they chose comfort over courage. And this is why I have slowed everything down. You must understand something important. I do not rush what must last. You have felt frustration in the waiting, but the waiting has been doing sacred work. While you were learning to trust without proof, they were learning to feel without running. While you were learning discernment, they were learning responsibility. While you were learning how to stand alone without closing your heart, they were learning that real connection requires presence, not performance. This is why I asked you to stay soft even when it would have been easier to harden. Your softness is not weakness, it is the very thing that awakened them. They are beginning to understand that your love is not loud, but it is unwavering. It does not demand attention, but it commands respect. It does not chase, but it waits with wisdom. And this kind of love is rare. When it is finally recognized, it does not feel exciting at first, it feels sobering. That is why they cried. Because they realized they could lose you, not because you would leave in anger, but because you would not stay where you are not met. This realization is shaking them awake. You see, my child, your soulmate is not afraid of love. They are afraid of becoming the person love requires them to be. And that fear is being confronted now, not by force, but by truth. Truth has a way of standing quietly in a room and making everything else uncomfortable. I know you have wondered whether they truly understand you. Whether they see the layers beneath your calm exterior. Whether they realize how intentional your love is, how carefully you choose who you allow close to your spirit. They are beginning to understand now. They are remembering moments they overlooked. Words you spoke that carried more meaning than they realized at the time. Silences that were invitations, not withdrawals. Boundaries that were not walls, but thresholds, and as these realizations settle, they feel the weight of choice. Because recognition demands response, I am not telling you this so you will wait anxiously. I am telling you this so you will remain anchored in who you are. Do not bend yourself into anticipation. Do not rehearse outcomes. Do not scan every moment for confirmation, remain present. The next phase of this connection is not about signs, it is about alignment. Alignment happens quietly. It happens when two souls independently choose growth without knowing the full picture yet. It happens when integrity becomes more important than timing, and honesty becomes more important than control. This is where I am guiding both of you now. You have already done much of this work. That is why you feel tired sometimes, not physically, but spiritually. You have been carrying awareness for a long time. Awareness can be heavy when it is not yet shared, but soon, you will feel a shift. Not because everything suddenly becomes clear, but because the weight will no longer rest solely on you. Your soulmate is being invited to carry their share. They are learning that loving you means listening beyond words. It means noticing when you grow quiet and asking why, instead of assuming. It means showing up consistently, not just intensely. It means understanding that your heart is sacred territory, not a place to wander in and out of. This realization is changing how they see you, and how they see themselves. And now I need to speak directly to you. Do not second-guess your intuition. Do not apologize for your depth. Do not minimize what you bring. You were not made to be understood by everyone. You were made to be recognized by one who is ready. And readiness is not about perfection. It is about willingness, willingness to grow, willingness to communicate, willingness to protect what is precious. You have always been willing. That is why this connection carries weight. That is why it feels different from the others that came before. Those were preparations. This is refinement, but hear me carefully, recognition does not guarantee union. It only opens the door. What happens next depends on courage, and courage does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers, I will try. Your soulmate is standing in that whisper now. They are deciding whether they will step forward in truth or retreat into familiarity. Whether they will speak honestly or hide behind timing. Whether they will allow love to mature them or keep it safely at a distance. I am not intervening in this choice. I am honoring it. Because love that is forced is not love, it is fear wearing desire's face. You must continue to live fully, not suspended in expectation. Continue to grow. Continue to choose yourself with integrity. Continue to love without attachment to outcome. This is not detachment from love. This is trust in me. And trust creates space for truth to move. Soon, you will notice a change in energy. Communication may feel clearer, or quieter. Both are meaningful. Do not rush to interpret. Simply observe. Let actions reveal what words cannot yet carry. I am asking you to stay grounded because what is approaching is subtle but significant. A moment where intention becomes visible. A moment where effort reveals itself. A moment where you will no longer need to guess how you are valued. This moment will not be dramatic. It will be honest. And honesty can feel vulnerable. Your soulmate's tears mark the beginning of that vulnerability. Tears soften what pride tries to protect. They prepare the heart to speak differently. I am not promising ease. I am promising truth. Truth may come through conversation. Truth may come through choice. Truth may come through distance or closeness. Whatever form it takes, you will recognize it, not through anxiety, but through peace, peace is how you will know I am in it. And now, as we move closer to what comes next, I need you to understand something that will steady you. Not every delay is denial, and not every silence is absence. Some silences are sacred spaces where courage gathers itself. You are not waiting alone. You are not loving alone. You are not unseen. I am with you in this unfolding. I am with them in their awakening, and there is more I must tell you, about the role your patience is playing right now. About the lesson this connection is meant to teach you, not just them, and about the moment when you will be asked to choose clarity over comfort, because the next part of this message is not about what they will do, but about what you must not do, and why that restraint is the very thing that will protect your heart as this bond moves closer to its defining moment. Because this is where understanding deepens. And I am not finished speaking, so listen carefully now, my beloved, because this final part is where wisdom must rise above emotion, where faith must steady the heart, and where love must be entrusted, not clutched. What you must not do is abandon yourself while waiting to be chosen. Do not pause your becoming for the sake of a possibility. Do not soften your boundaries to make room for uncertainty. Do not confuse patience with self-neglect. You were never asked to shrink so that love could feel less intimidating. You were asked to remain whole so that love could meet you honestly. This is the restraint I spoke of, the quiet strength of continuing to live fully even when your heart feels tender. The discipline of not reaching prematurely, not explaining what must be discovered, not rescuing someone from the growth they are meant to walk through on their own. This restraint is not distance. It is dignity. And dignity protects your heart. Your soulmate's awakening is theirs to integrate. If you rush toward it, you risk turning revelation into pressure. If you pull away in fear, you risk turning truth into misunderstanding. The path between these extremes is presence without pursuit, openness without overextension. This is where trust becomes active. I know how deeply you want clarity. I know how your mind searches for certainty when your heart has already committed to hope. But clarity does not always arrive as explanation. Sometimes it arrives as alignment, when actions begin to speak without being prompted, when consistency replaces confusion, when effort becomes visible without being requested. This is what you are watching for now. Not intensity. Not promises. But steadiness. Love that lasts does not rush forward with fireworks, it walks forward with intention. And as you remain grounded, something important will happen within you. You will notice that you are no longer gripping the outcome. You will feel your breath deepen. You will feel your nervous system soften. You will realize that whether this connection unfolds in one way or another, you are no longer afraid of losing yourself. That realization is not accidental. It is the gift of this season. Because before love can be shared safely, it must be held securely within the self. And you are learning how to do that now, not through isolation, but through self-respect. Your soulmate's tears soften them. Your restraint will steady you. And when both softness and steadiness exist, truth can finally stand in the open. There will come a moment, gentle but unmistakable, when words are spoken differently. When silence no longer feels ambiguous. When the energy between you shifts from uncertainty to clarity. This moment will not feel like chaos. It will feel like relief. You will know it because your body will relax instead of tense. If the step forward comes, it will come with humility. With honesty. With effort that does not need to be chased. And if it does not come, you will still stand whole, because you will understand that recognition alone is not enough without readiness to act. Either way, you are not losing. This is something you must truly hear now. You cannot miss what is meant to meet you. What aligns with your soul will not require you to abandon yourself. What is meant for you will rise to meet you at the level where you already live, in truth, in intention, in depth. Your soulmate's tears were not a promise. They were a revelation. And revelations are invitations, not guarantees. The guarantee I give you is this. You are becoming someone who no longer settles for partial presence. Someone who can love deeply without dissolving into fear. Someone who trusts timing without surrendering agency. That is sacred growth. And now I will tell you what this connection has already accomplished. Regardless of its final form, it reminded you that your depth is a gift, not a burden. It showed you that your intuition is accurate, not dramatic. It revealed that you are capable of inspiring transformation simply by being yourself. This is no small thing. Many souls pass through life without ever being seen at this level. You have been seen. And being seen changes you. It raises the standard of what you can accept, what you can give, and what you can walk away from without resentment. So walk gently now. Speak honestly when the moment calls for it. Remain silent when silence preserves peace. Stay present in your life, your work, your joy. Do not wait at the door of possibility. Build your home within yourself. And if love is meant to step inside, it will knock clearly. I am not asking you to harden. I am asking you to trust. I am not asking you to detach. I am asking you to remain rooted. I am not asking you to stop loving. I am asking you to love without fear. Fear clouds discernment. Trust sharpens it. Your soulmate is learning this in their way. You are learning it in yours. And the space between you is not empty. It is being shaped. Soon, you will look back on this moment and realize it was a turning point. Not because everything resolved immediately, but because you changed. You stopped questioning your worth. You stopped bargaining with time. You stopped interpreting silence as rejection. You became still enough to hear truth clearly. That is the miracle. And now, my child, I will leave you with this final knowing, so you may rest. Nothing that required you to betray yourself was ever meant to stay. Nothing that honors your wholeness will pass you by. And nothing that is real will ask you to disappear in order to be loved. You are held. You are guided. You are becoming. Trust the unfolding. Trust your heart. And trust me. Amen.